Alright, everybody. My name is Sean, and my service animal is Chloe. This is a service animal awareness page, and everything I started to help bring awareness to service animals, to the laws, to just about everything about it that I can think of. By far, I am the expert at this. Like I said, I do have a service animal. Her name is Chloe. Dip into it a little bit more in a little bit. I tell people, please bear with me. I'm figuring out as I go. Right now, I'm having to use my phone as a camera, so I'll constantly tap it to make it come back alive and everything else. I'll eventually get newer equipment. I do want to be able to record on my own time to get people's expressions. I don't like and look forward to the attention, I guess you say. But there are people out there that have a hard time with it, harder than me. So I'll try to educate people on the etiquette of the do's, the don'ts, and everything about service animals. And there's a big misconception about service animals too. Most people think they're just for the blind. I was in a facility yesterday, standing in line, and a gentleman goes, "Well, you're not blind." No, I'm not blind. I didn't say anything else after that point. A different gentleman just automatically started going towards the pedal. And I'm like, no, that's a big no-no. Again, this right here, that is me and Chloe when she was in training. If you've seen other videos or whatever else, this is one of my favorite pictures of her early on. And again, if my phone goes off or anything like that, it will like that right there. So whatever pops up on my phone is going to pop up on here. Excuse me. I will be getting hopefully excuse me, another camera later. But I'm going to try to make this short and sweet, and then give you some more information at the end. So we will get started with this without further ado. This is, I found some slides that I really like, and it breaks it down. It's very simplistic. Of course, I added a different picture in the middle. But service animals are defined as dogs. Service animals are not, and there are people that will want to argue it, and that's fine. Service animals are not snakes. They're not anything along that. People are just using it as in my opinion, an excuse just to bring it along with them. Now, keep in mind, therapy animals and everything else are different than service animals. I'm not saying those are therapy animals either, but I'm not as knowledgeable about therapy animals as I am about service animals. Um, but if you see that one part on there, note that the laws do not dictate the breed or the size of the animal or the dog. Uh, Different size to different needs. If you need one for mobility, you're going to have a bigger breed animal to help keep you steady, to help pick you up. If you're a very small person, you might be better off with a small one. Personally, mine, she's right around 55 pounds. She's perfect size where it doesn't restrict me from going into tight places if I got to go to a store or what have you. She can fit underneath my chair at a restaurant. If she has to sit on my lap, she can, but don't crush me. For me, she's a perfect size. And one thing I really want to emphasize on is the bottom right-hand side, where it says service animals are working animals. They're not pets. They're doing a job. I get asked many times too, does she know the difference when she has the vest on and when she does not have the vest on? And again, the vest is just a courtesy, it's not by law. It helps where we don't have to explain as much. And the easiest way I could say it is, it's vest or no vest, they're working. They don't know, like when a normal person leaves work, they know they're off of work. They don't know that. They don't have a switch. They don't have a clock to punch. So vest or no vest, they're always working. Does that mean you cannot treat them like a regular dog? No, the handler can't. The handler, the person that person is trained for. Yes, most definitely they can treat them like a regular dog. Uh, can anybody? No, they can't. Uh, my family knows that when we're at home, she's you can interact with her, and when we're in the vehicle, they can interact with her. And that's it. Because she's not a family pet. Even at times at home, it's not okay. They know when, or I can let them know when. But yes, it's very important that they do get some kind of break time, some kind of, they have to release their frustration and everything else just like anybody else. They can't crack a coal and do it that way. If you have that. All right, the next one. Let's see here. Service animals, again, are defined that are individually trained to work or perform a task for a person with disabilities. Okay, again, the law does not dictate the breed or the size. I personally don't like, I know it's the legal term, I don't really like the word disabilities. They have, I don't mind saying challenges or obstacles or differences. I just don't like disabilities. But anyway, the guidelines, of course, they are for the blind. Those training for the blind, that is a long, intensive training. That right there is, I would vouch to say, and I'm not a dog trainer, is one of the most intense trainings there is. There's a lot of liability on that. The dog can't walk a blind person out into the middle of the street with his head or anything like that. So there's a lot that goes into detail with that. They also Could be for alerting people who are deaf or hard of hearing. Uh, uh, that's very important. Imagine if somebody's hard of hearing and somebody's at the door, or I know they make certain things so that if you push the light, doorbell, the lights and fans and all that come on. But if somebody's knocking at a door, a deaf person can't tell. Uh, and I suffer from severe hearing loss as well. So I can very much respect and understand where that comes to play. There's also people that say you're in a wheelchair and motorized, not motorized, and you need help to get your wheelchair, up a hill or whatever else. They can be trained to perform a task to help pull the wheelchair. Uh, or that goes back into where I said the mobility. That's where you'd want a strong, bigger dog. They also can be for alerting people with seizures or other medical conditions, diabetics, for the insulin, seizures, autism, that there is a wide range. They could be trained to perform tasks to help on a daily basis, which gives a person more independence. And if you've ever had any of your independence taken from you as an individual, it's very depressing. It's very hard to take, especially if you were an independent person at one time and lost it. To help gain some of it back, it's there's no price tag to put on that. You know. There's also they can be trained for reminding an alerting person with a mental illness to take prescribed medication. Believe it or not, yes. The dog's not going to say, "Hey, man, you need to take blank medication," but they can help alert you at certain times. The dogs can also sense their sense of smell can tell when your body changes and everything. Again, I'm not an animal trainer. I'm not a dog trainer by any means. So, if you would ask, how exactly they do that, I'm sure I can research it, but I cannot tell you firsthand how. There's also for stabilizing, calming a person with anxiety or post-traumatic stress disorder during a panic attack or flashbacks. Um, that is the one that I'm listed personally in. That is why I have a service animal. Um, that is what mine's trained to do, uh, and it's a miracle. You know, you wouldn't think unless you've been in that situation how much they actually help towards that. And they also can be trained to perform many different things, from turning lights on to opening doors, opening your refrigerator, to if you drop your cane, your cell phone, your keys, they can retrieve these items for you. They can help you with that. They can alert people that you need assistance. It's almost endless. So service animals are not just for the blind. Uh, it's for many different things. Again, it's breed wise. Yes, any breed. Right here says what breed of dog is acceptable for service animals, and it just gives a few different breeds as an example. But the real true answer on this one is any breed, any dog is acceptable for service animal. Now, personal opinion on this one. Okay. Let me get to this point. So, Let's see. All right. Personal opinion, because I've had this asked many times, and I've had it brought up many times, and uh, I I grew up in dog shows. I grew up around many different breeds. I grew up with all that, so I understand where people come from when they ask this. I've had a couple tell me that they their favorite breed they love are pit bulls, and they want to start a nonprofit or a foundation to help service animals, but just for pit bulls. Um, I personally, great that you want to help somebody. I would personally not go that direction. I am not here saying that I condemn, dislike anything on the pit bulls. I'm not going either way. But what I'm saying is, like on that one part where it says calming for especially for the PTSD part, uh, pit bull's not going to calm you, okay? And people are like, yeah, they will. Well, okay, let's just put a twist on this. You go to, which personally, I rarely ever go to because I dislike it. Walmart. Everybody knows it, so I use an example. You walk into Walmart with Pitbull. I already get enough people when I walk in there with a, or walk into the store with a Labrador, the people that are scared of dogs or what have you, the comments and everything. You walk in there with a Pitbull. Most people's conception of a Pitbull is ferocious. They're going to kill you. They're going to attack. They're going to this and that. So you're going to have more tension. You're going to have more stress. You're going to have more anxiety kicking in. There's no need for that. You're already suffering from it. You're trying to get help for it. You're trying to get a service animal to help towards it. So why add extra? Why make it harder? It's not worth it. Okay, you want a pit bull? Great. If you have the insurance for it, if you're zoned for it, where you live, uh, you want one as a pet at your house? Hey, whatever you do at your own dwelling, your own home, if you're zoned for it and everything else, go for it. Don't use it as a service animal. Uh, just like the Belgian Malinois. Uh, they're probably are still, but they were the number one attack dogs in the U.S. They look like a lot like a German Shepherd. Wouldn't recommend that either. You know, use a one that has a great demeanor all around. A lot of people use German Shepherds. You know, personally, I mean, I like German Shepherds too. Don't get me wrong. Those, yeah, okay, fine. They can kind of go either way, but yes, uh, I love Labradors. They're very well mannered. They got a great demeanor. Uh, you have golden retrievers. You have you name it. Use whatever breed that helps you. Just make a wise decision on it, and look at all the pros and cons. Don't just say, "Well, I like that breed, I'm using it." And then whenever you start having real issues later on, just think about it that way. Uh, all right, I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. Uh, there is a great, and I always give them a little plug. Uh, Rescued Abilities Project. It is a nonprofit that the whole thing was to use rescued animals to help rescue people. And like we said, we don't like to use the word disabilities. So we're going to use the rescue their abilities. We're going to take the good part and we're going to bring it up. We're going to help encourage on it. Two great trainers over there, Mark and Nikki. They will bend over backwards for you. Uh, I think the next segment I'll do will get a little more in depth of what the actual cost on a person to have on a daily basis, and it's not a cure-all. We'll get into that next time. But go ahead and check these guys out. They're great. Uh, they're not doing the normal $10,000 to $80,000 service animals. They do not do uh, the training for blind service animals. They do not touch that. They will not do that part of it. I did state earlier that that was like the most intensive form of it. They like to help, of course, veterans, first responders. They will help with an autistic child. They will help with many different ones. Just go ahead and contact them. There's the phone number at the bottom. They got the .org page. They're on Facebook. They're on, you name it. Keep in mind, again, not all wounds are visible, and I like to show this one because it's one of these that, like yesterday, like again, like that person was like, well, you're not blind. I need green glasses now. I'm getting up there. You would see a lot more gray if I wouldn't have dyed it green. But no, that not all wounds are visible. Uh, Fortunately, mine are allowed up here, and my Chloe has done great wonders for me and my family. I'll always give that to them. Uh, give you some info real quick before I head out on this. If I can get all this to work. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's see. And I'm trying to get better and quicker at this. Alright, there's the Facebook. Let's see. There's YouTube. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything, please let me know. There's the email at the bottom. That is the best way to voice anything or have any concerns or questions. saw.chloe.1917@gmail.com. Again, I do appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. Send me all the questions and concerns you got, and we will talk to y'all next time. Goodbye.